We're going to take a break from John today. And we're going to look at just a simple phrase. The phrase which is the title of the message this morning, My Strength and My Song. The Lord is our strength and our song. But here we pick up Exodus chapter 15 with the Song of Moses. It reads, Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and my song, and he has become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him a habitation, my father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war, the Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them, they sank into the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, has become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, hath dashed in pieces the enemy. And in the greatness of thine excellency hast thou overthrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sendest forth thy wrath, which consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of thy nostrils the waters were gathered together. The flood stood upright as a heap, and the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. Thou didst blow with thy wind, the sea covered them, they sank as lead in the mighty waters. Who is like unto thee, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? Thou stretchedst out thy right hand, the earth swallowed them. Thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people, which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength unto thy holy habitation. The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestina. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling, shall take hold upon them. The inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. Fear and dread shall fall upon them. By the greatness of thine arm they shall be as still as a stone, till thy people pass over, O Lord, till the people pass over which thou hast purchased. Thou shalt bring them in and plant them in the mountain of thine inheritance, in the place, O Lord, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in, in the sanctuary, O Lord, which thy hands have established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever. For the horse of Pharaoh went in with his chariots and with his horsemen into the sea, and the Lord brought again the waters of the sea upon them, but the children of Israel went on dry land in the midst of the sea. You may be seated. A little bit of a longer opening reading this morning. Now I have you guys stand for quite a while. Can you imagine there in, I believe it was the coronation of the temple, as Israel had gotten allowed back into Jerusalem, right? They found the word of the Lord, and he read through the Torah to all the people. Can you imagine standing for that long? Not just half a chapter, but books, chapters and books, hearing the word of the Lord, standing in reverence for the word of the Lord. But now you may be seated and just don't fall asleep. We open up here in Exodus 15 this morning with the Song of Moses. And we find that this comes as God has freed Israel from captivity. He has delivered them from death. He has brought them out of Egypt and is beginning to prepare them to be consecrated as His people. And they sing this song of praise to the Lord. Now last year, about this same time, in fact it was 11/17, so a day tomorrow will be a year, we brought a message out of Exodus called looking at how the Lord has done the hard part. I believe it was called the hard part. And thankfulness to God, right? This time of year, we ought to be thankful. We ought to steer our hearts and our minds toward the things that God has done for us, toward the things that God has given us. We're having a little lunch today, a Thanksgiving lunch today, in commemoration of that thankfulness and remembering what it is that He has done for us throughout the year. And so it is that the message this morning, in looking at God as our strength and our song, we're not just looking at what the Bible has to say about what the Lord has done for us, how He is our strength, and how in our thankfulness to Him, He is our song. We're looking at all the things that the Lord has done. And we're looking at it not only in a perspective point of view, where we're looking back at all the things that the Lord has done, but we're looking forward at all the things that the Lord will do. This phrase we find here in verse 2, the Lord is my strength and song. He has become my salvation. He is my God. This is something that we find not only sung by Moses, but we will find that it is sung again as Christ returns. But I told you earlier that we're going to be in Psalm 118 as well. And we'll get there. Let's just take a few minutes to remember what it is that God did up to this point as they're getting ready to leave Egypt. Right? God found Moses as he was taking care of sheep in the wilderness, and He said to Moses, the voices of my people, the cries of my people have reached me. Right? He heard. He heard the voices of the people as they were in turmoil, as they were in slavery, as they were doing hard labor for the Egyptians, as they were being killed, as they were being mistreated. The Lord heard their cries. Not only did the Lord hear their cries, then He appointed someone to do something about it. Right? He said, Moses, I'm going to choose you. I've heard the cries of my people. Now you go, and you go tell Pharaoh to let my people go. God didn't just hear the cries of the people, but He appointed a man to go do something about it. And He said, you go tell Pharaoh, let my people go. Huh? He heard, He acted. And not only did He hear and then send a man to do it, but He equipped the man to do the job that He sent him to do. Right? One of my favorite scriptures in all the Bible, or favorite conversations in all the Bible, the end of Exodus chapter 3 into chapter 4, where God and Moses have this conversation where God tells Moses, go tell Pharaoh this. And Moses says, I can't talk good. How can I, a lowly shepherd, go before a God on earth and tell him to do something? I'm slow of speech. He's not going to listen to me. What did God tell him? Who created your tongue? Right? Who created the everything? Just go. I'll give you the words. I'll give you the ability. So He called a man, and then He equipped him to do the job. And then as Moses went in to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh refused time and time and time again, he said, I'm not going to let the people of Israel go. They're really good slaves. There's a lot of them. They make bricks. Who's going to make the bricks if we don't have the slaves? Right? Who's going to fill in this void? We can't do that. That's slave work. That's no good. And what did God do then? He didn't just tell Moses, well, just keep talking to him. No. With divine action, He performed miracles in Egypt. And He confronted not only Pharaoh, but He confronted the deities of Egypt as He struck the river, as He brought insects into Egypt as a plague, as He brought boils on the people, as He brought darkness into the land, hail from the skies, as He destroyed the crops. He didn't just hear the cry. He didn't just send a man, empower a man. He acted with his own hand to deliver his people in miraculous ways, confronting the gods of the most powerful nation on earth at that time, confronting the most powerful man on the face of the earth. So I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm better. And you listen to me, you let my people go. And then, not only did he do all these marvelous things, but as he slew all the firstborn in Egypt, all the firstborn, those who didn't put the blood on their doorposts, he brought them out. He brought them out of the most powerful nation on the face of the earth. Out of their bondage, out of their slavery. And he led them to a wall of water. How do you cross? We don't have boats. We were brick makers, not boat builders. Our name isn't Noah. We can't swim across this with all our goods. Right? Remember, they were laden with gold, with riches, animals, a great wealth as they came out of Egypt. How are we going to get across this Red Sea? How are we going to pass this impassable barrier with the weight and the might of the Egyptian army bearing down on us? And he spread the sea. He broke the waters. And he led his people through those waters. And then he slammed them shut. And he conquered the Pharaoh. He conquered the army of Egypt, the most powerful nation on the face of the earth at the time. And you know, they haven't been the most powerful nation on earth since. Historically, they never came back from that. They never rose to that same prominence. When God conquered Egypt, he did it for good. He did it in a way that was undeniable. Kind of sounds like our own lives. Kind of sounds like what he's done for us. Amen. Heard the cry of a people enslaved by sin and by death. He didn't just hear us, did he? He sent someone to do something about it. Not only did he send someone to do something about it, he came himself to do something about it. And what do we read about in the New Testament? Miracles, signs, wonders, healings, great and marvelous things. As Christ came to earth, as he was sent to be that deliverer for the people. And what did he do? He didn't just perform signs and miracles for a little while, just as God didn't just perform signs and miracles in Egypt for a little while. No, there was a deliverance and a conquering, wasn't there? There was death. As Christ died and his blood was spilled, it was for deliverance for us. Deliverance for the ones who were enslaved. For the ones who were mistreated. For the ones who were broken. He delivered us. He brought us out of death because he conquered death. And what did he do? He brought us to an impassable wall, didn't he? Jesus conquered death, is delivered, but we still have to deal with death. Well, what's the waters of baptism? As he brings us through those waters. As he guides us through that sea. And you know what happens? He slams them shut. And Pharaoh and his pursuing army, the devil and his pursuing army, they can't pass. We're given freedom. We're given deliverance. We're given life. And just as the waters of the Red Sea slammed shut on Pharaoh, so the waters of the grave slammed shut on the devil. slam shut on him, and it will act as that impassable barrier for us who have crossed through it. That's what the Red Sea was, wasn't it? An impassable barrier for the people of Israel. And not only was it the thing that kept Egypt from pursuing Israel any farther, it was the thing that kept Israel from going back. Sometimes that's hard for us to remember, isn't it? Sometimes as we wander through this wilderness, we start looking back at life before, yearning for the leaks of Egypt again. Those old habits of man. Those old feelings. The hopelessness. But hey, at least we have the leeks and the onions. At least we could find some solace, some comfort in our sin. Did it ever work? No. Does it work? No. When we turn our hearts back to that old sinful man, do we ever come out of it feeling like we're ahead? No. No. See, when we cross through those waters, when we cross through that impenetrable barrier, it was the waters of baptism. It was the grave to be raised in newness of life. We didn't just swear we're never going back. We're prevented utterly from it. But praise the Lord for His mercy and not just asking us to keep our promises to Him, but putting some barriers in place to make it hard for us to break those promises. It's hard to go back, isn't it? Because we know what we've experienced in God. We know what it is that He's done for us. We've felt the change that has come in our lives as we've crossed out of Egypt. As we've been made His people. Let's turn over to Psalm 118. If we're not there already. Moses sang that song knowing that they would never go back to Egypt, that they would never go back to that slavery because of what the Lord had done. That song not only was looking back, it was prophetic. That's what we're going to work on discovering now. The prophetic nature of the song of Moses. Psalm 118, we'll just grab verse 8 through 17 here. Psalm 118, beginning in verse 8, it says, "It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. All nations compass me about, but in the name of the Lord will I destroy them. They compassed me about, yea, they compassed me about, but in the name of the Lord I will destroy them. They compass me about like bees, they are quenched as a fire of thorns. For in the name of the Lord I will destroy them. Thou hast thrust sore at me, that I might fall, but the Lord helped me. The Lord is my strength and song, and is become my salvation. The voice of rejoicing and salvation is in the tabernacles of the righteous. The right hand of the Lord doeth valiantly. The right hand of the Lord is exalted, and the right hand of the Lord doeth valiantly. I shall not die, but live, and declare the works of the Lord." We read here as the psalmist is recalling this song of Moses, recalling what God had done for Israel and applying it to his own situation, to his own the time in his life. He says, "Enemies compass me about, I'll conquer. They're surrounding me, but that doesn't matter. The Lord is my strength and my song." And what's more, we look at this as being prophetic. Psalm 118, we skip ahead to verse 22. "The stone which the builders refused has become the headstone of the corner. that sound familiar to anyone?
Amen.
Jesus quoted this directly in Matthew 21, verse 42. We won't turn there. Jesus was declaring that this psalm was looking at Him. It was prophesying of Him. Just because we deal with strife, just because we deal with this life day after day after day, doesn't mean it's hopeless. Just because we're surrounded by enemies, just because we're surrounded by problems, doesn't mean that we're going to lose. Right? I wish I could remember it now. I think he was a Marine. They were surrounded, and so we're just more targets. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing horribly. We know where to shoot, right? We're surrounded by enemies. I'll have to find the quote. Huh?
We can't miss.
We can't miss. Yep. Exactly. The Lord can't miss. Right? We're surrounded every day, compassed. But the Lord is our strength and our song. Jesus is our strength and our song. Let's turn over to Isaiah chapter 12. I can find it here. It's the problem of not having thumb tabs. It sometimes takes a second. Isaiah chapter 12, beginning in verse 1. It reads, "And in that day thou shalt say, O Lord, I will praise thee. Though thou wast angry with me, thine anger is turned away, and thou comfortest me. Behold, God is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid, for the Lord Jehovah is my strength and my song. He also has become my salvation. Therefore with joy shall ye draw water out of the wells of salvation. And in that day ye shall say, Praise the Lord, call upon His name, declare His doings among the people, make mention that His name is exalted. Sing unto the Lord, for He hath done excellent things. This is known in all the earth. Cry out and shout, thou inhabitant of Zion, for great is the Holy One of Israel in the midst of thee. In that day, in what day, you may ask? Chapter 11, verse 1, And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. When Christ had come, when He will come again, we will find ourselves praising the Lord, our salvation and our song. Christ is that salvation. He is that song. And here in Isaiah chapter 12, we find Him looking forward to that day. To the day when the messianic prophecy is fulfilled. When Christ comes and rules on the earth. We will sing that song. In Exodus, we find that He delivered the people from captivity and death. Has He delivered us from captivity and death? Romans chapter 6, verse 17 and 18 says, But God be thanked that you are the servants of sin, but you have obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine which was delivered you. Being then made free from sin, you became the servants of righteousness. He brought us out of captivity and death, didn't He? We find that He brought them through the water and He made them His people. Has He done that for us? Again in Romans chapter 6, this time beginning in verse 3, says, Know ye not that so many of us as were baptized into Jesus Christ were baptized into His death? Therefore we are buried with Him by baptism into death, that like as Christ was raised up from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness of life. For if we have been planted together in the likeness of death, we shall be also in the likeness of his resurrection. He brought us through the water and he made us his people, didn't he? We find that he led them through the wilderness and he fed them his bread. Has he fed us? John chapter 6, we were here during Sunday school. John chapter 6, beginning in verse 31. It says, Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, He gave them bread from heaven to eat. Then Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is he which comes down from heaven, and gives life unto the world. Then said they unto him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. And Jesus said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. He has fed us, hasn't he? Finally, we find that he brought them to himself. Has he brought us? Romans chapter 8. Romans chapter 8, beginning in verse 14. It reads, For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. For ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. And if children, then heirs, heirs of God and joint heirs with Christ. If so be we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. We're led by the Spirit of God, brought to him to be his people. Let's turn, as we prepare to close, over to Revelation chapter 15. Told you the song of Moses is prophetic. It looks not only at what the Lord has done, but it looks at what he will do. Revelation chapter 15, beginning in verse 1. It reads, And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of God. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of God. There's a lot of things to have victory over there, aren't there? The beast, his image, his mark, the number of his name. A lot of things that need to be conquered. Verse 3, And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are thy works, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy. For all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. We find that when it's all said and done, his people will be singing that song of Moses again. We'll turn back there. We'll read it one more time. The song of Moses is important because it reminds us of what the Lord has done. It reminds us of what we have to look forward to. We will sing it again one day. Exodus 15, I read for you again, beginning in verse 1. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider has he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare for him a habitation, my father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war, the Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them, they sank into the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, hath dashed in pieces the enemy. Who is the right hand of the Lord?
Jesus.
Jesus. Jesus has become glorious in power. Jesus has dashed in pieces the enemy. And in the greatness of thine excellency thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sendest forth thy wrath, which consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of thy nostrils the waters were gathered together, the floods stood upright as in a heap, and the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. Thou didst blow with thy wind, the sea covered them. They sank as lead in the mighty waters. Who is like thee, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? Thou stretchedst out thy right hand, the earth swallowed them. You stretched out Christ, and the earth swallowed them. That's an interesting thought, isn't it? Thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength unto thy holy habitation. The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestine. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling, shall take hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. Fear and dread shall fall upon them. By the greatness of thine arm they shall be as still as a stone, till thy people pass over, O Lord, till the people pass over which thou hast purchased. Thou shalt bring them in and plant them in the mountain of thine inheritance, in the place, O Lord, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in the sanctuary, O Lord, thy hands have established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever. For the horse of Pharaoh went in with his chariots and with his horsemen into the sea, and the Lord brought again the waters of the sea upon them, but the children of Israel went out on dry land in the midst of the sea. We have so much to thank God for, don't we? He has conquered death for us. He's conquered the enemy for us. By His right hand we are redeemed. By His right hand we have hope. And He is our strength and our song. That's all I have for you this morning.